Shalom, Yasha'Allah, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahweh. I do so in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Yashar Allah. Call Haloyam La Yahweh Bahasam Yahweh Shai Bahasam Harakah Kodash, for blessing our elders with the spirit of truth so that we may know. Shout out to the Akim and the Akwaf that's keeping the faith in the work. Shall keep at it. It's your brother Abaya coming at you with more precepts. Ecclesiastes 7 and 8 says, better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof, and the patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit. Right? Finishing is better. In the NLT it reads, finishing is better than starting, patience is better than pride. Right? Be not hasty in thy spirit to be angry, for anger resteth in the bosom of fools. It resteth in the bosom of fools, right? So scripture is telling us, well, we already know scripture tells us it's okay to be angry because that's a natural emotion, right? And it's wisdom to be angry about oppression, right? In Ecclesiastes 7 and 7, surely oppression maketh the wise man mad, and the gift destroyeth the heart, right? Let me see. I think it's in Ephesians. Let me see. Ephesians 4:26. Be ye angry and sin not. Let not the sun go down upon your wrath. Right? So the Lord is letting us know, it's things we are supposed to be angry about. Right? But don't let that anger get you out of character. Don't let that anger, that emotion rule over you. Right? Let me see. Proverbs 16:32, he that is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh a city. Right? So the Lord is telling us we have to maintain patience in our through our oppression and through the anger and the madness that we may feel. We have to have patience through that thing and have faith that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is going to repay, because the Lord said he would. Right? The Lord said, vengeance is mine, saith Yahweh, and we have to believe that. We have to have faith in that. Right? And we have to have patience in that. All right. Let's see. Oh, let's see here. Romans chapter 5 and verse 3 says, let me see. I'll start from the top. Romans chapter 5 and verse 1. Therefore, being justified by faith, we have peace with power through our Adawan Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. Right? In the NLT it reads, therefore, since we have been made right in power's sight by faith, we have peace with power because of what Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, our Adawan, has done for us. Right? So scripture tells us all have sinned, right, and fallen short, right, of the glory of the kingdom, right? But Yahweh sent Yahweh Shai to rectify that, to bring us back to Yahweh, right? All of this is through faith, because you got to believe, that Yahweh is. You have to believe that His Son is. You have to believe that what His Son did was for us. Right, verse 2, it says, by whom also we have access by faith, right? It's all of this is through faith, into this grace wherein we stand and rejoice in hope of the glory of power. And not only so, but we glory in tribulations also, right? Knowing that tribulation worketh patience, right? In the NLT it says, we can rejoice too when we run into problems and trials, for we know that they help us develop endurance, because patience and endurance are the same thing. They literally have the same definition. They come from the same word, right? I'm speaking scripturally, right? Let's go and see this word.
Strong's G 5281. Hupamane. Hupamane.
All right, steadfastness, constancy, endurance. All right, so patience and endurance is the same thing. All right, the exact same definition coming from the same word. Right, and the Lord is telling us, through our trials and tribulations, maintain patience. Right, and the reason why we're maintaining patience is so that we don't lose, so that we maintain what the Lord has blessed us with. The Lord already told us we have our crowns, we have the glory, we have, the quote unquote trophy. We've won already, but we have to patiently endure, this world, and we have to patiently endure, the Lord's judgment upon this earth, because we're in this earth. We'll have to witness this earth, but it'll be different for us. Let me see. Psalms 91:8. Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. Right? So the wicked's reward and the righteous reward are different. But we will have to see that reward, meaning we'll be here. We'll see the destruction. And not the whole way, because according to Revelation 15:1, I believe. Let me see. All right, Revelation 15:1, and I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels having the 7 last plagues, right? For in them is filled up the wrath of power. In the NLT it reads, then I saw in heaven another marvelous event of great significance. 7 angels were holding the 7 last plagues, which would bring God's wrath to completion. And I saw, as it were, a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass, having the harps of power. Right? In the NLT it reads, I saw before me what seemed to be a glass sea mixed with fire, and on it stood all the people who had been victorious over the beast and his statue, and the number representing his name. They were all holding harps that power had given them. Right? So we'll see the destruction, right? For a moment we'll be in said destruction, but then salvation comes out of that destruction, and we'll see the completion of that destruction from above the firmament. Right? Yahweh Shem Yahushua Ratazam in the number, and if you are hearing this and can understand this, you are too. Right? But it all comes from patience. It all comes, matter of fact, Matthew 24, because patience and endurance are the same. They are the same term. All right. Let me see. Matthew 24:13. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. Right.
Strong's G 5278. Hupamano. Hupamano.
Same thing. He that has patience through the tribulation all the way until the end, the same shall be saved. He that endures, right, all the way until the end, the same shall be saved. Right? To remain, to tarry behind, to remain, abide, not recede or flee, to persevere under misfortunes and trials, to hold fast to one's faith in Hamashiach, to endure, bear bravely and calmly ill treatments. All right? Patience is the key, and we have to have that. All right? So don't lose patience, Yasharallah. Maintain what the Lord has blessed you with and receive that crown when it's time to receive that crown. All right. Let me go to Salah. What's that? 2nd Ezra 2. Let me see. 2nd Ezra chapter 2 and verse 42. I, Ezra, saw upon the Mount Zion a great people whom I could not number, and they all praised Yahweh with songs, right? The same that's spoken of in Revelation 15, right? Song the song of Moses, right? It says, and in the midst of them there was a young man of a high stature, taller than all the rest, and upon every one of their heads he set crowns and was more exalted. All right. Let me see. I just looked it up yesterday. Revelation chapter 3 and verse 11. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. Right? And this what we constantly try to tell individuals as it pertains to Esau's judgment, as it pertains to the 2/3 judgment. The word is already set. Right? Everything is already set. Everything just have to catch up to what's already set. The Lord's word has already proclaimed what's to be. Right? Everybody just have to go into their lot. We're hoping to be in this righteous lot that has the crowns, right? And that will be given those crowns at the return of Yahweh Shai. Right? And the same thing with Esau Edom. Esau Edom, your judgment is already set. The Lord has already told us what's to be with you. As far as the heathens go, the Lord has already told us what's to be with you all. It's already set. There's nothing anybody can do about that. We're just waiting to see how things are going to exactly work out in this earth. And you have to have patience through that. And I'm speaking to Yasharallah, of course. Have to have patience through this. All right? But 2nd Ezra chapter 2 and verse 43. And in the midst of them there was a young man of a high stature, taller than all the rest, and upon every one of their heads he set crowns, and was more exalted, which I marveled at greatly. So I asked the angel and said, Sir, what are these? He answered me and said unto me, These be they that have put off the mortal clothing and put on the immortal, right? 1 Corinthians 15, right? And have confessed the name of power. Now are they crowned and receive palms. They patiently endured and received that salvation from Yahweh Shai and received those crowns. And that's what we're hoping to receive. That's what we're hoping to be. All right? So, maintain patience, Yasharallah. Maintain patience. All right, so with that, man, Yahweh Shemel Shah Ratazah, these precepts in this video were edifying. Call Haloyam La, Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Harakakodash, Shalom, Yasharallah.